He was a thief and a terrorist. On the other hand, he had a tremendous singing voice.
Son, dipshit.
Oh, Byron just said, hi, welcome. How's everyone doing?
I know.
So what? Okay, so yes, our children are often dipshits. How? What happened?
My son gets here first day from his mom's house because we were gone for a week in Florida, and so he was gone at our house for like a week and a half. Finally comes back over, and it's like he forgot the rules. Like when I walk out of the house, I close the door because there's animals inside. Now our animals don't bolt out of the front door, but I have a mini pit who likes to just kind of follow you and wonder like, hey guys, what's up? And then it's just like to sniff the grass. Well, son walks outside, leaves the door open. I'm somewhere else in the house because I told him to go get his shit outside and bring it inside. Well, he goes out there. The mini pit follows him, and he doesn't notice that there's a dog that just walked out right behind him, and he didn't go far. He went on the porch, like, so he was right by the door.
The kid or the dog?
Both.
Oh.
So, and then he walks back inside, leaving the dog out there, and just closes the fucking door. I bet you he saw the dog.
He left the dog outside and shut the door on it.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And so we couldn't find the dog, and Rachel leaves, and I'm sitting on the couch, and I'm like, why is my fucking my English Bulldog Husky, oh, I'm Casper, just sitting by the door? It's really weird. Like, what the fuck? And then I start calling my other dog. I'm like, hey, Pig's nowhere to be found. Pig isn't upstairs. I search high and low. I'm like, oh fuck, she's outside. She's in the front. And I'm like, well, I haven't gone outside. I mean, the dogs are here when I brought the kids in. I closed the door. And we start going back over the footage, and I'm calling her, trying to do recall, because she recalls from like, she'll recall like up the street and come running back. Like, she's a smart dog, and she's very well trained. And most of the time she just sits at the front of the house if she's left outside, like just sits on the porch and waits to be let back in. But she was out there for about an hour, and it was very windy. There was a storm rolling in.
You think it scared her and she ran?
I think something scared her, and she just took off.
Or do you think
and there's some new
snatched
people
her?
on the block. That too, because I've gotten a lot of compliments on her every time I take her out. They're like, "Oh my god, how much did you buy her for? How much is this? How much?" Because she's a Staffy mixed with a French Bulldog, so she's pretty compact and she's fawn.
Oh
so
yeah, she's adorable.
She's great. Yeah, she's like 40 pounds of fucking muscle, just jacked. But like in this small little package, you know. Yeah. So I look on the cameras, and sure as shit, he walked out and then just left her outside. And I'm like, man, like, I know he doesn't do things maliciously, and I'm not going to make him mad. I'm not going to like sit there and like blame it on him, but I'm going to make him damn well known, like, hey, your actions have consequences. Pay the fuck attention, because this could be someone's life, and it might be. It's not looking good, and we're hitting freezing temps in the last 2 nights. So if she's out there, like, she's probably going to freeze to death.
Well, hopefully if she's that smart, she'll find a place to hunker down, or somebody's going to take her in until they find out who owns her.
Is she chipped?
Right?
Huh? Well, I mean, she used to be a transient dog before, so she's used to being out on the streets, but I don't know if she's sleeping in tents and shit. Like, legit, she was a fucking transient dog, like, and she had puppies out on the streets when we first adopted her. And so I'm just like, okay, go back to your transient roots. Remember that shit.
Right. You know how to do this.
Find somewhere and hunker down. Yeah.
Right.
Go find somewhere and hunker down until the pound picks you up, because she's sweet. She doesn't run. She doesn't bite. I mean, she might run if she's scared, but fuck, man. Yeah. I'm just like, damn. I posted her everywhere, but I'm like, I don't want someone to have taken her, but at least if someone takes her,
but it's better than
a car.
Yeah. Or freezes out,
or doesn't freeze to death, you know. And I'm like, well, hopefully I don't find her dead on the road, and a lot of retards come out of the woodwork and be like, fucking telling me how I should post my dogs, and I'm like, go fuck yourself, dude. I don't need help posting my dogs. They're chipped. I posted in like 7 different fucking places. Eat a dick.
Yeah.
Let me do my thing.
Eat
and
a
then
dick.
other people are like, I saw your dogs, and I'm like, there's only one missing. It's not plural. Other one's in the house.
Sorry, brother, because losing a dog sucks. I mean,
Yeah, she's fucking fucked up too. She's got heart murmurs and everything. She's an old dog. She's like 8 years old.
one of my favorite dogs ever that we had, freaking, he disappeared off into the hills because he just disappeared off into the hills because he was braver than he was smart, and he chased coyotes and never returned. So I get it.
He went out living a warrior's death.
That's right.
Or he's king of the dogs.
Yeah, that's what I choose to believe, that he's living out there like he's like in charge of a den of coyotes, getting them to do his best Chihuahua dachshund bidding, because he looked like a mini pin, but he was smaller because he's Chihuahua dachshund.
He was a Chihuahua dachshund?
Oh, dude, he was freaking.
He's riding on top of a coyote's back.
He is fucking
patch.
That dog was so smart. That dog got hit and dragged by a car and survived. Like, he was dope.
Dude, my dachshund did too, dude, by a fucking van.
They're tough.
It would just drag itself everywhere.
So, being the king of useless information, I enjoy passing this on. Do you know why dachshunds are so tough?
No, because they're badger dogs.
Yes. So Marco, their dog is it literally means badger hound, and they're that size and shape because they are basically bred, and their purpose is to go into badger holes and pull badgers out and kill them.
Dude, badgers are tough as shit too.
Yeah. So anyway, that sucks, dude. I'm sorry.
Tough. Yeah, I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I don't know when to give up hope. We've contacted the pound websites. Like, go in your make sure you take your chip information and like go in like online. So I'm like telling my wife, I'm like, Rachel, where the fuck is the pound info? Because she does all the filing. And she went to the pound. Pound's like, no, it's gonna take like 30 minutes for me to even see you. She's like, fuck this, I gotta go.
Yeah.
So she left. She's like, I have the pound info at the house. She calls me. She's like, there is no chip info in the pound information. I'm like, they should have chipped the dog. They didn't fucking chip the dog. Like, there's no chip info in it. So now I got to go over there, because funny thing is, if you guys lose a dog and it's chipped, great thing is when it's chipped, you call the company, the chip company, and you let them know my dog's missing. What they do is they send out a fucking APB to all the local pounds.
Like a BOL.
Yeah. And a fucking bolo, dude, like for dogs. And I'm like, this is wild. And all to the local vets that participate in it. And it plasters like the photo up, the phone number,
somebody from bringing in the dog themselves. And
right. So I got to do that just in case someone ganked the dog and is like, not mine, this is a cool mini pit, and takes it to the fucking vet. I can have that info like there, but there's no chip info in my fucking pound info. So,
well, that's a bummer, but we're here this week, and welcome to the Locker Room. I'm Tom.
I'm Chuck.
I'm just here for the ride.
And we have no Matt this week. Scheduling has been a little bit of a tough one for the last couple of weeks with what's been going on in our personal lives. Obviously, I did listen to the last week's episode without myself on it. I wholeheartedly laughed entirely. But no, I in fact was not wearing a big ruffly collar.
Damn it.
Oh, for your play
thespianisms.
Thespianisms. Yeah, for my thespianisms. So, I know. I figured if you guys, Marco was just about to ask me about it, so
I just did. Yeah,
I figured at this point, if you guys, basically, it's the stage musical comedy.
What is it there?
Well, yes, right. Thank you. It'll take center stage. So it is a musical comedy, and is based on, it's a combination of a play by William Shakespeare and the music of Elvis, which sounds really, really weird.
Okay.
Basically, they just took the plot elements and set it in the 1950s, and all the music is like reworkings of Elvis songs that are used to move the plot along. So think of like Grease meets Footloose,
I'm all think of that fucking was it Claire Danes' Romeo and Juliet, but not done in the 90s,
Right.
done in the 50s.
Right.
So less garbage, more summer loving.
Yeah. So it's it's
my
just a
God.
comedy using it's a 2 hours of comedy using all Elvis music, and it's pretty silly and it's pretty fun. But my daughter is doing the show, and I told her that at some point I would come out of retirement, because I've directed shows, but at some point I would come out of retirement from acting and I would do a show with her as an actor. And so this show came up, and she asked me if I was going to audition, and then another friend of mine asked me if I was going to audition. So I figured, okay, what better chance than now? And so I've been in rehearsal for this thing since just after Christmas, and we have about 5 or 6. We have 6 more performances, and then the show closes. So
what's your part? What's it? Can you give
a little bit of typecasting. I play the town sheriff.
Oh, that's a stretch.
Yeah, right. But the fun part is I have to be like the henchman. I'm almost like the
evil one.
Mayor of the town is the jerk, and I'm her big, heavy henchman. And so everybody thinks I'm one type of person, and then as you get towards the end, at the very end, I show my true colors, and I change the whole thing and flip it all on its head and do some really funny stuff. So good time.
Okay.
It's been fun coming out of retirement to do this. I don't know how many more times I'm going to do it again, but
do you have to sing and shit?
Yeah. I have to sing. I have to act. I have to be.
Do you have a solo? Do you have a solo number?
I do.
You do.
I do a little bit.
Oh my gosh!
I am messaging your wife for a fucking tape for a video.
Yeah. So it's funny is just the feedback I get when I walk out. Everybody's like, "Oh, you totally stole the show. I loved watching you." Da, 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 da. And it's kind of that like, well, it's nice to know that after over 20 years of not being on the stage, it's like riding a bicycle, and I still got it a little bit. So it's been fun, but mostly it's it's an opportunity. How many times are you going to get the chance to be on if your daughter acts and you've acted? I did it so that we could do something together, like
together. You're right about that. Yeah, that's 100% true. How many more times are you going to get? How many more opportunities are you going to get for that?
Yeah. So I was getting
playing sports with your kids.
Yeah,
on a competitive
right,
level. Exactly.
Yeah. And so I was getting ready for the show, and I was putting on this. Everybody knows, well, not everybody, I guess. You have to, if you're going to be on film or in TV or in a play or something, you have to put on theatrical makeup. And so I put on my theatrical makeup, and I was getting ready to leave the house. My daughter's boyfriend was over, and he's like, "You have to wear makeup too?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. Every single person up on that stage has to wear makeup, or you look like a corpse." Because those stage lights. So pretty funny. I'll send you the picture of me and my daughter.
You did your own makeup?
Yeah. I know how to do stage makeup. When you start acting at a young age, there's no like makeup trailer. There's no makeup. I
do the shit on your own.
You do it on your own.
Oh, I just figured they would have had that there.
No. I mean, I could go to the theater and do my makeup there at the theater in the dressing room, but I prefer not to show up early and do all my stuff there. I prefer to do it all at home and then go and just kind of spend as little time there before the show as I have to. So, anyway, so that's what I've been doing. The play is called All Shook Up, and it's been fun. It's been a good time, but I'm ready for us. We close on Sunday, and I'm ready to not be this busy again for a while. So we're even recording this tonight without Matt, because every other night this week I have to be on stage performing during the time that we would normally podcast. So here we are.
Yeah.
And Matt can't be here because he has family flying in from Europe. So
Matt's outside watching weather balloons. Matt's outside watching for balloons. That's what he's doing.
Screaming and yelling at him, "Get off my lawn!" Oh God. So first of all, let's just recap. How many things have we shot down the last like 4 of them?
4 of them now.
4 of them, right?
I think it's been 4 of them, and they're tracking. They're tracking more. But
did you guys talk about it in the last episode? But during Trump's presidency, Miley and Mad Dog Mattis, which this shocked me, knew about what 3 other weather balloons, but didn't say anything to Trump because they were afraid of how he would react.
What? Is that true?
Yeah, I saw it on I don't know because I saw it on Facebook. So, but it was from like one of the like or Instagram like typical liberal or fucking one of those people. So they're like a conservative Instagram account, and they were talking about how it is, and they're like, if this is true, this is fucking treason because you need to tell the commander in chief. And I'm like, man, that's kind of upsetting to hear that General
I don't,
Mattis.
I don't think that's true. I feel to see like they wouldn't bring that up, or like, at least handle it in some way, shape, or form, or they would have came to light before.
Well, they handled it. They just didn't tell him about it.
Let's
Oh,
see.
so
I'm looking at there's New York Times and there's CNN, so I'm looking for something that's not either one of those.
you know what I looked up? While Thomas was looking that up, you know what I looked up?
What?
I looked up what the fuck else is going on. Well, they have our eyes on these balloons up in the sky. I was like, oh, I'm like, wait a minute. There's a pattern of shit that happens. Hold on. Hold my tea for a second. So I started researching what other shit is popping right now where they have us all looking at. Oh, there's a giant fucking train that derailed in
3 of
fucking
them.
Ohio.
3 of them, bro.
Right, and that fucking spilled the car. And then the oil company decided, oh, we're just gonna get rid of these chemicals by lighting them on fire. So they lit them on fire, and all sorts of shit's been going wrong in the fucking neighborhoods, and people's have animals dying and shit like that from the fucking fumes and shit. And yeah, they're only
Well, it seems like there's all kinds of weird shit like this going on with all those like all the cows that were dying and the chickens that were dying, and then we have these chemical spills. Like it's getting, dude, what the actual fuck is going on?
I don't know, man. It's getting part of it sounds tin hat. The other part of it sounds like some crazy ass shit's going on in this world right now.
Did you see the videos from Palestine, Ohio, or Palestine or Ohio, where the train derailment was?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah,
holy
yeah.
Fuck.
I saw
there's
some
videos. There's oh my god. There's videos. There's photos. It looks biblical. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it does. One of the photos that I saw looks like one of the fucking Exxon, old school Exxon Valdez oil spills. Saying just like fucking covered in oil and shit everywhere. Just it looks fucking bad, dude.
The skies are really black.
Bad. Yep.
Let's see. I'm looking and it says that it's possible that those balloons were not detected in real time under the Trump administration. Not that it necessarily was hidden from him, but that our Defense Department just straight up possibly didn't even know it.
How that's a big breach of fucking security. That's probably why they didn't bring it up. They're like, oh fuck, let's not say this because that shows a big weakness.
Former Trump SecDef Mark Esper said he was never aware of 3 reported flyovers. 2 relevant officials who have not spoken out are Joint Chiefs Chairman Mark Milley and James Mad Dog Mattis. Pompeo said neither Milley, who he noted is still in his top military advisor role, nor former Secretary Mattis have spoken out as to whether they knew about the spy flyovers. He would be shocked.
So it must have been speculation.
He would be shocked if Mattis knew about it and hadn't shared that with either the CIA or the Sec State. So there's nothing that says they confirmed that they knew. It actually sounds like they're trying to figure out who did know, if anybody, which is interesting. So
it's just propaganda being spilled by the right wing guys.
Maybe, possibly, unless they're trusting like InfoWars, like we think they knew, and film at 11.
It was the way I read it. It was more than we think. It was more like they knew, and then they kind of put at the end. But if this is in fact true, that's really bad. But like, hey, both sides need to stop that shit. It's like trying to be the media, trying to be first to the story, and they don't really care if it's true or not. They're just kind of banking on that it is, because if it is, they're the first one to report it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, never let the truth get in the way of a good story, huh?
Yeah, it's fucking stupid, but whatever. That's kind of scary.
It is. So I'm also bothered by the fact that I don't know if you guys have read this, but only one of the 4 objects that has been shot down is confirmed to have been a balloon. The other 3, they're like, yeah, we're not sure. We're not sure what they are. We're trying to recover them. Like, what the hell? The other one that pisses me off
UFOs.
is they said they didn't shoot down the weather balloon until it had crossed into like the area of the Atlantic Ocean near South Carolina because of
the first call out at least.
Yeah, because of the safety of people on the ground. Really?
Yeah.
It's a
Really?
balloon, bro.
Well, I guess what it
there's
was hauling on
the gear
size
attached
wise,
to it. Yeah.
yeah, and it was like the size of a fucking bus. So
Oh fuck, that's huge.
Not the balloon. What was carrying underneath?
Yeah.
The balloon's actually bigger than that. What was carrying underneath the equipment was actually the size of a bus.
That's what I figured you're talking about. That's fucking big, dude. Imagine that falling on your house.
Yeah, right. Or even a chunk of that, So
yeah.
Here's his engine block falling
like
from the
literally there's so many places where I feel like you could be like, okay, we're in the plains of Kansas, we're in the freaking
nail it.
The cornfields of Nebraska. Like there's so much acreage left in this country that's still completely blank, that you're telling me they couldn't find one single solitary place to shoot it down.
It's coming over the Rockies. Nail it. Fucking
right.
You know what I mean?
On.
Before it gets to NORAD. Did you hear about, because I've been off of the news. I'm like, I just can't deal with the news right now. It's too much.
Yeah.
Was there some issue with like UFOs being like, hey, there's the actual UFOs. This is an actual UFO type of confirmation?
Not that I was reading.
Seeing it all over Facebook, talking about how UFOs there's a UFO, but it's just coincidentally that they're saying that there's a UFO because of the whole Hunter Biden scandal that's coming out to be true. Twitter covering it up.
Well, there is. So that was part of the thing with these objects. Is one of the objects that was shot down over Lake Michigan is an octagonal object that they're not sure if it's a weather balloon. They're not sure what it is. They're trying to recover it out of one of the Great Lakes. So I guess since they don't know what it is, technically that is a confirmed, we shot down a UFO. It is unidentified, and it was flying, and it was an object. So
got it.
That's probably how they're getting away with saying U.S. shot down a confirmed UFO. It was also octagonal. So
some kids like flying his fucking that weird square kite. He's like, what the fuck?
It was like actual aliens trying to make peaceful contact. We're like, fuck you, just because of a balloon. We picked the wrong week to visit. Oh God. Yeah. It's been dude.
I like to say it's going to hell in a handbasket, but apparently it's going to hell in a balloon.
It's going to hell at the Grammys.
Yeah, so what happened with the Grammys? Because I'm not really
sorry for my stupid dog that can't shut her mouth. So Sam Smith, who goes by the pronouns I don't fucking care.
Okay.
I didn't even know that Sam Smith was because he's clearly a fat, bald British guy, right?
Yeah.
Like you look at Sam Smith and you're like, oh, it's a fat, bald British guy. It's like if Boy George went on a Twinkie binge,
he has. Have you seen him lately?
Well, Boy George has an excuse based on his age. Sam Smith is excuse.
Oh, this is true.
He's Sam Smith. I guess. I don't know.
He likes Twinkies. Yeah, I got it.
And I'm not overly familiar with Sam Smith catalog. I know the song that he had to pay Tom Petty for. Because like when you listen to it, you're like, oh shit, he totally, whether intentionally or unintentionally, he just straight stole a Tom Petty song.
How you gonna rip off a dead guy? Anyways, go ahead.
I know.
Fucked up.
So he first of all, have you seen the picture of him at
it's like a butt plug?
The British Awards wearing a inflated garbage bag?
He looks like a butt plug.
Yes, that did come across my desk, if you will, and I didn't know what it was, and I was like, okay, I know what you're talking about.
So that's the first thing. He was at the British version of the Grammys, and he showed up in this ridiculous inflated garbage bag of a costume, and he looks like he belongs in Alice in Wonderland, like painting roses red on a tree or so. He looks like the spade, like an upside down spade.
Yeah. He does look like an upside down spade. Yeah. I hope there was like a fucking fan. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I hope there's a fucking fan inside of that thing, like the fucking inflatable T-Rex costumes.
I would be willing to bet you it's actually like like super expensive carbon fiber tent rods that like keep it out permanently. But either way, it just like,
How do
first of
you
all,
leave the
what the
house?
fuck is wrong with you? Like,
Well, the designer comes up to you. You go like, this designer wants to work with you for the Grammys. You're like, oh, fantastic. I love their work. They bring you this. At what point do you look at this and go, yes, this is the statement that I want to make? Playing card. I look like a half clover, half anchor.
Butt plug.
okay, so
Butt plug. Yeah,
okay, so it was inflatable. Okay,
it was inflatable.
let's see. Sam Smith's inflatable latex suit was the talk of the red carpet at this year's Brit Awards. Its designer is also a latex farmer in India who reveals that it was inspired by his dog.
Perfect.
Wow. Okay.
What kind of dog? That dog
dude,
needs to go to a vet.
I don't even know. But he has these. Dude, he looks like a weird like genie lamp made out of black.
Did you see?
rubber.
Did you see the one he did a year before?
No, I
Where
tried
he had
not
like
to.
pasties on his nipples, and he was.
Oh
like, in
yeah,
lingerie.
I've seen pictures of that. I didn't know what that was from.
Fuck, the dude's a weirdo, and he also got pissed at the British Grammy people, fucking the news for mislabeling him or misgenderizing him or mispronouncing
for calling him
Zai, whatever the fuck he is. I don't know. Zim Zork. Zord.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's just fucking weird. He's like, here's the thing. I have a hard time getting too like angry at somebody like that because clearly they're going through some shit, like mentally.
We're starving for attention. Either case, I don't care.
But what I do have a problem with is everybody else lifting this mentally ill person on a pedestal and calling them a fucking genius. I mean, shit, David Bowie was doing this stuff in the 70s, you know, doing androgyny and like wearing quasi female clothing. And
he was also coming out doing the Nazi salute. So that's, we can't really, can't really.
Christ.
But that's what I mean. Like,
my God.
Like Lady Gaga coming out in a dress made of meat, or
she also carried an egg, if you remember that.
Yes, like Mork and Mindy.
Yeah, yes.
Great Mork and Mindy style.
Oh my gosh.
So
high fashion, bro. High fashion.
At this point, literally all I do is I look at these Brit Awards and the Grammys. I'm like, it's fucking the Hunger Games, dude. It is. It's like the Hunger Games. It's the fucking Hunger Games, bro.
And I think, and low key, I don't even think it's low key at all. I think the Hunger Games did that shit on purpose, like to make fun of that. You know what I'm saying? It's like where things are going or have gone, or
we're there.
Oh yeah, obviously.
First of all, where is Daniel Tosh when we need him?
I don't know. He's probably canceled.
Making fun of these fucking people.
I feel like he doesn't make fun of these people because he'll be canceled.
Yeah, I'm sure he's been tamed.
Probably.
Yeah, put to heel. But hey, Roseanne Barr is not going to be tamed. She just put out a new special called "Cancel This," and apparently, like, really, yeah, Roseanne Barr's like, "Fuck you guys." I feel like we need more like George Carlin, Roseanne Barr. Where's Dice Clay? Where are these people when where's God resurrect Sam Kinison?
Well, that's a level 10.
Yeah, that's the nuclear option, bro.
Talking about level 10, real quick, guys. Okay. Snowflake Mountain.
Oh, on Netflix.
Let's just watch some of it. Let's just watch like 2 episodes, and we'll come back to it.
Okay, all right. Because I've heard of it. I've got it on my list. If you're telling me we got to do it for the podcast, I'm down.
There's an actual show called Snowflake Mountain.
Yes.
Listen to me. They put a bunch of snow. Listen. They put a bunch of snowflakes on a survival mountain and say, go.
It's like Survivor for millennials, bro.
So I'll put it to you guys this way. My wife, Jules, lover, goes, hey, babe, I have something for you guys to discuss in your podcast. Y'all know she doesn't listen to this podcast.
Nope.
Not her cup of tea.
Correct.
But for her to go,
y'all need to talk about this shit.
It's Snowflake Mountain, and this is the premise of the show. You should watch it and talk about it. I looked at her and said, oh, yeah, you know as well. Thanks, babe. I appreciate you.
All right. So we have homework.
If she is like, y'all need to break this down, we need to break that shit down.
Okay, so we are agreeing to, by next week, watch 2 episodes. The first 2 episodes.
2 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not
Probably
really
all we can
hard. Yeah.
stomach.
It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it could be just a beautiful train wreck. They were just yelling at the
Could be
screen the
something
whole time.
amazing where I want to watch it. No. So in other Sam Smith news, the second part is not just how he showed up at the Brit Awards looking like an inflatable butt plug, but he then performs at the Grammy Awards with another Zhizhe Zha. Oh, I don't get it. I've reached that beautiful age where I'm too fucking old to care what somebody's goddamn pronouns are. Especially
They don't make sense. They're not grammatically correct.
Right.
It just confuses me.
So, and this one, he performed a song called Unholy, and he performed it dressed as the devil, but in like the most
top hat.
1940s Looney Tunes cartoon version of the devil that he could possibly think of.
Okay. Did he have the little goatee and the fucking pointy mustache?
Yes.
Ugh.
Oh, he did. Okay.
And the top hat.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Right?
Okay, go ahead.
So, yes,
oh, I see it here.
Yes. So, and then there was like, it was basically like images of hell. And then I can't remember who was that. I think it was ABC. He tweets out a picture of him like in his hell costume, ready to perform Unholy and do all this stuff. And ABC took a bath on Twitter. They tried to delete it, but of course, nothing on the internet is ever deleted. The ABC tweets, "We are ready to worship," and everybody's like, "What the fuck, dude? We've got a non-binary fat white British dude dressed up as a cartoon devil performing a song called Unholy on stage with a tranny, and ABC News is saying they're ready to worship him." We have officially crossed into La La Land, right? Now, what I want to get your thoughts on, because this is something that I actually have some pretty strong feelings about based on my personal beliefs, but there is a big hubbub about the everybody who wants to play it off. It's like, oh, please, it's just performance art. Who cares? And then the rest of the people are going, you guys are literally encouraging devil worship at this point. And I thought back to the days of Dungeons and Dragons and Kiss and some of that kind of stuff, like the what they call the Satanic Panic era.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought I would get your guys' opinions on, first of all, where does something cross the line from being like shock theater to actually being detrimental? And at what point do we say to people, you guys, this is come on, right? Now, I don't know where that line is. I cross the line all the damn time, right? But I know
I was gonna say, if we let fucking Marilyn Manson walk around with a fucking bodysuit that has like a boob with no nipples, and saying like,
but see, I wasn't. You know me, I was never a big Marilyn Manson fan anyway. The first
we're
time
not
he released that album called "I Eat Children" was out.
I mean, we're not fans of Sam Smith either, but this is part of the topic. I'm not really seeing a problem with this. It's performance art, so I'm not really seeing a problem with this. I mean, we saw Freddie Mercury back in the day walking around with risque, quote unquote, risque outfits for this period, doing his thing. So. And you mentioned earlier, Ziggy Stardust. Alice Cooper back in the day was all the rage. Back in the heyday. So
I went back and I watched some of the Kiss and Alice Cooper stuff, and I realized that a lot of the dark imagery and stuff like that, I've wondered, like, have we just normalized it to the point where now we have to be so on the nose that it's actually shocking? Or is this a case of the greatest trick the devil ever pulled is to convince people that he didn't exist? Because let's imagine if you're the devil and you're like, okay, look, guys, you have your little board meeting in hell, right? Like, look, we're never going to get people to openly like just want to worship us. Like the Church of Satan's not really going to work. They're kind of a joke. So let's just convince everybody that I'm a big joke and I'm a cartoon character. And let's do that by getting famous people to make fun of me and getting religious people to panic over me. I mean, that would be a pretty brilliant plan if you're the devil, right? It's just to get people to stop being worried about you, and then you
Wait,
could just do whatever you wanted.
you're saying
Right.
that the rebranding strategy of the devil is to make himself so un uncool and make himself so like anti cool counterculture that becomes the actual culture to
No,
follow
I'm saying that the
him?
devil's strategy is to make people think that anybody who actually believes in the devil is a fucking crazy person. Right? So if you're the
Okay.
devil,
Yeah, I'm
and
with you. I'm with you, Chuck.
no,
Or
that's what
just
I'm
so
asking.
unharmful
Yeah,
that
right. That
people
he's
are
a
going
joke.
around and just portraying it and being like, this is cool.
Right.
I
And
think
then,
that's more of what you're getting at, not,
well,
like
because if there's no objective
it's more like
devil,
desensitizing towards it, that people are like, oh, this is awesome, we should do this. But okay, look, I'm a Christian. I don't agree with all these fucking performers, like high-end performers like Lady Gaga, Sam Smith, all these
mhm.
fucking weirdos, right? Even Lil Nas X did it, and
Oh,
he went
with his
batshit fucking
blood
crazy.
shoes and
Yeah, I
oh,
mean, look, I don't agree with it. I'm a Christian. I'm a completely 100 fucking percent, 110%. If I can go 110%, I'm there. I'm against it. 100 fucking percent. I'm against it. However, it does go to freedom of expression, freedom of speech. So it can't be censored. However, I don't think it needs to be put on a pedestal. But these are my own personal beliefs and my religious beliefs, and I'm not going to shove my religion down anybody's throat. I don't think that they should be shoving theirs down anyone's throat. But it is freedom of expression. So at the same token, if someone wants to come out, dressed as Jesus and sing a song about Jesus, they shouldn't get all the backlash that they do, right? Because what I've seen is it's not a fair playing field.
right.
On the other hand, like you have all this shit about the devil and all this stuff, and people glorify it, which is to me is fucking crazy. And then you have the stuff, and people come out. Look at Tim Tebow in sports, because the Super Bowl just happened. Tim Tebow got demonized for fucking kneeling and praying on the field, right?
Correct.
And then fast forward, people like what I think even Kanye even had a song where people with um with the fucking people who sing in the churches and shit like that, the fucking
Choir.
yeah, the choir,
Yeah.
the women in the
Yeah.
choir, and it's had a song about Jesus and stuff,
Right.
and people lost their fucking mind, and so I think if you're gonna be able to do that, you should be able to do it on both sides, and it should be, people shouldn't slander each one, but at the same token, I don't think the devil should be glorified. I don't think these fucking high-end people need to be coming out and vomiting on people, and
Oh
basically
God,
having
like
this
Lady
fucking,
Gaga.
like, it's Satanist culture being shoved down like people's throats, and it's to me that's fucking wild. It's paganism on a full blown scale, 100%. And we talked about Marilyn Manson. I think that dude's a fucking lunatic.
Oh, he is.
I didn't like any of his shit. I didn't listen to any of his shit. I thought it was absolutely fucking crazy. And honestly, when I was a young kid and you had what was it? That fucking what was it? I think it was like Danny something. Um uh he was like a big time fucking like metal dude. Um um Fuck, what's the name of it? It's it was something super sinister. Anyways, it was all about Satan and the devil and all this crazy shit, and I was like, I can't listen to it. Like even back then, it was fucking too much. It was like in your face type of shit. Um, I don't agree with any of it, and that's my personal opinion. I'm
Right.
completely on the other opposite end of most people, but that's me. Now, it is freedom of expression, it is freedom of speech, whatever. But
I think
that's a slippery
that's
slope. I can't sit there and say we have to condemn this, because then I'm completely against freedom of speech and freedom of expression, right? But I just don't think it needs to be glorified.
so that's I think where I'm going with this is that number one, if you really think like for all the people that are saying, oh, this needs to be banned and stuff like that. Well, I
Cradle of
mean,
filth. That's what I was thinking
oh,
of.
Cradle of Filth, yeah. So
Ugh.
anybody that says Tim Tebow should be allowed to kneel and pray at the Super Bowl better be the same person who says if Sam Smith wants to sing about the devil at the Grammys, he should be allowed to, right? Like that's part of free will and part of freedom of choice. But
the problem
that's
is
not
that
what's
they're
happening.
not.
They're right. That's not what's happening.
Wait. Do we know that that's what the song is actually about? Is that I understand it's called Unholy. But
No,
do we
I'm
actually
just,
know what
I'm
the
just,
lyrics were?
yeah, I've looked them up and I can read them to you if you want. But my point is that if he's dressing up like the devil and singing a song called, it's,
Unholy.
yeah, it's basically,
Mhm.
he says it's about um, people treating him like he's unholy for his behavior.
Sure.
But I mean, the lyrics are freaking insane. Like,
With
a,
that,
a
with
lucky girl, she got married to a boy like you. She'd kick you out if she ever knew about all the time, about all the you tell me that you do, dirty boy. You know, everyone is talking on the scene. I hear them whispering about the places that you've been and how you don't know how to keep your business clean. Like, you don't know that daddy's
Okay.
getting hot at the body shop doing something unholy. He sat back while he's dropping it. She be popping it. Like, the lyrics are insane.
Okay.
It's
all over Instagram, and it's very popular.
yeah.
Okay.
But that's not my
But the
point.
song, it's not the song itself.
Right.
Mhm.
My point is that if you're going to be in favor of one being allowed to be as a form of expression, whether it's Marilyn
Mhm.
Manson or Sam Smith or Tim
Mhm.
Tebow or whatever, but that's not, I don't think that's what's happening. My previous point was, I think that all these people who are saying, look, they're just worshiping Satan out in public. Do I honestly think Sam Smith is a Satan worshiper?
Fuck no.
No. I think Sam
Fuck
Smith
no.
is a sad, depressed, confused, fat white British dude. That's what I think Sam Smith is. But do I believe that evil has a purpose and that evil has, something that it wants? Yes, I absolutely believe in true evil and that it wants to corrupt the world. And what I was saying to you guys is, I think the smarter play, if you're in charge of evil, right? Let's say that you're the devil and you're in charge of all the evil in the world. The smarter play is not to just push, hey, I want you all to be evil. The smarter play is to say, hey, there is no such thing as evil. Evil doesn't exist. Y'all can do whatever you want. It's totally fine. And then get people to act on their worst instincts, their baser instincts. Because if you convince people there are no consequences for their actions, they're going to live like it. You know what I mean? So that's I guess my point of, as opposed to trying to be in your face and convince people, yes, you should be devil worshippers. It would be much smarter play if you're the devil to just convince people that you don't exist and then get them to do the rest, because then they don't feel like they're worshiping the devil. They feel like they're just expressing themselves, as opposed to when Christians are out there praying or they're like singing songs, they're telling people literally, this is what we believe in, this is what we want you to believe. And I think that makes people more uncomfortable than the opposite of a Sam Smith telling people, don't believe in anything, nothing's real, just do your thing. If that does that make more sense the way I'm explaining it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah. That was all I was trying to put a point on it. But enough about Sam Smith, because we still have more to talk about, boys. Have you first of all, have you seen the execution videos coming out of Ukraine?
No,
Or
execution
I'm sorry,
videos.
out of Russia.
What are you watching?
I'm not watching the execution videos, but I read the articles.
There's
Apparently, there's
execution videos,
there's a
huh?
paramilitary group called the Wagner Group, and they have been using
The fucking
some.
mercenaries.
Yeah, they're PMC,
Right.
and they have been taking Russian prisoners that have been given life sentences for rape or murder, and saying, "All right, we'll let you out of Russian prison, but you have to come and fight on the front lines of Ukraine with us." And so,
Oh, I've heard of that. Yeah.
okay, so in a couple of these instances, some of these prisoners are like, they get to the front lines and they're a rapist and they're a murderer, but they're like, "Fuck this, I'm not fighting in this war," and so they go AWOL. And then this one dude, the story that I read, I did not watch the video, but I saw a freeze frame of the video, and that freeze frame was scary, dude. It looked like something out of an Eli Roth movie, bro. So here's what's happening in this instance: the guy escaped Russia. He escaped the Russian paramilitary group, and was on the run because he didn't want to go back to prison, nor did he want to fight. And he said he got hit over the head and knocked unconscious. He woke up in the room where the picture of him was at, and he was told that he was going to have his final trial. Right. And so they filmed him explaining this to the camera, that he was knocked unconscious, and that he woke up in this room, and that he was having his final trial. His head was taped with like clear packing tape or like saran wrap to like 3 cinder block bricks. And then they crushed his head with a sledgehammer. The dude was standing behind him. There, all you see is like in the picture, all you see is like from the waist down, this dude's boots and a giant sledgehammer. And I guess this paramilitary group has been taking to executing people who go AWOL with a sledgehammer to the dome up against bricks that are taped to their head.
Bro, that's some Suicide Squad shit.
I mean,
fucking gee, holy crap.
And this dude who runs this paramilitary group is such a whack job that when I think it was, if I remember correctly from reading the article, somebody at the UN or the UN Human Rights Council or one of those groups said that they were a terrorist organization and that their tactics were terrorism. So he mailed them a bloody sledgehammer with engraved skulls on the head. Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that's sinister shit, dude.
This is what I'm saying. Like, if people aren't paying attention, this is the shit that's like, I cannot. But then okay, so here's where I get all messed up. It's because I'm a devil's advocate kind of person. Y'all know this. I was having this discussion with somebody about, wow, just firing squad. Why do you have to hit him in the head with the sledgehammer? And then me being me, I looked at him and I went, well, I mean, what's the difference? Like, you're killing him either way, right? Bro.
One of them is more brutal than the other, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that sledgehammer's probably instantaneous, bro.
No.
Dude,
maybe you get knocked unconscious.
Yeah,
I don't know,
yeah. I mean, like, you're out. Hurt. Like,
fuck.
Yeah, that was the thing. It's like I was kind of thinking about what, and this was me. I'm not saying it should be done. I'm just saying, what is it in us that thinks about like shooting somebody with a bullet in the head and just putting him down like a dog versus hitting him in the head with a sledgehammer? And why do we think there's a difference? It just struck me as odd that we're okay with certain types of executions and not okay with others, after I was really kind of just taking stock of like our conversation about, different methods of execution that we've previously had and all this other stuff. And I kind of reached this moment where I was having this kind of internal debate with myself of really what's the difference? What makes us feel one is so much more different than the other? If it's not like, I mean, yes, torture is worse because you're making somebody feel pain before they die. But in the case of a sledgehammer, if it crushes your skull like a watermelon, you're gone, right? There's no more you left.
Yeah, I mean, but those actions are consistent with the terrorist organization.
Well, that's true, and that's the thing.
They are 100% war crimes.
Yeah, that's just it. Like, and even the Russian government is distancing themselves from this group, and they're like, yeah, we probably should, like, not say that this is not cool and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, they're still using them. They're still working.
So it's the Russian mercenaries.
Yeah, the Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner group.
They're going after Ukraine.
And they're pro. Yeah, they're pro Putin.
Yeah. In fact,
okay, so I thought it was the other way around. I thought it was the Ukrainian government going fucking.
No, these are.
I mean, that tracks
from the Ruski side.
Yeah, so it's pretty freaking. Like, dude, you talk about brutal. I mean, those beheading videos that Al Qaeda was putting out were bad enough, but I mean,
those are bad.
Those are really bad.
Yeah.
What's pretty bad too is the Los Cedos cartel. Those are fucking bad. Those are bad.
Which one were those ones?
They were just beheadings. And I watched 2 with John.
Oh, I can't watch that
in
shit.
College that our professor gave us.
Hey, talking about cartel doing some shit. You guys
Jesus Christ.
heard or
That's bad.
seen the videos of the fucking cartel guys fucking using 50 cal fucking sniper rifles and taking pop shots at fucking civilian airliners?
What?
Oh,
Really?
no, right?
Pause this motherfucker and do some research, man. Yeah, these guys are fucking. So it's like kind of like an old school kind of Gaddafi situation where like the Sinaloa cartel, like he, what it comes down to, he was about making like he was about the business side of everything. Obviously, ruthless, blah blah, blah doing a thing really bad, but he kept everyone in fucking check and didn't fuck with like the general people because that's where he got his fucking money from, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. His workforce. Now there's a power struggle. He's gone, so the Chapo's gone. So now there's a power struggle, with the other sets. And their fucking parts with fucking these cartel guys are just running rampant, doing some fucking bullshit, trying to get names for themselves. So there's fucking videos um, of guys with 50 fucking cal, like fucking Brad sniper rifles, in the backyard, perched up against a fucking cinder block wall, just taking fucking shots at a fucking like Air Mexico, fucking coming back from Cancun and shit on vacation. Just boom.
Oh
just
shit!
trying,
This was
just
January
trying to.
6th.
Yes,
Wow.
this is
Very recent,
very
so-
yes, very recent.
Passengers on board of an Aero Mexico flight ducked for cover after it was shot at a Calacan, Mexico. In Calacan, Mexico, at least one bullet hit the fuselage in the moments after El Chapo's son was captured. So it seemed like it was a retaliation for his son being captured, and they were shooting at the fucking plane.
Wow.
Just a random plane, the Aero Mexico
The
flight.
ran the
Like,
fucking plane.
Damn.
God damn, dude.
Well, I think as we get closer and closer to the end of the world, these stories are only going to get crazier and crazier. I didn't think I'd live to see half of this shit happen that I've seen in my lifetime, but here we are. However, I will say that the last thing I want to talk about, I think we don't have any time.
There's more.
Well, we didn't even talk about the Super Bowl because, boys, correct me if I'm wrong. How many national anthems do we have?
One.
One,
The
right?
national anthem.
We have the national anthem, right? That's it, right?
Unless
And-
there's a team from a different country playing.
Right. And then hockey
Canada.
games, you have two national anthems. 'Cause
Right.
there's
The
two-
Canadian one or the
Yeah.
whatever they're from. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, they're from Canada.
You have Russian too.
Yeah, but they don't play in the NHL. They play
No,
in the
that's just
KHL.
that's the fucking Olympics.
So apparently for a while now, the NFL has been singing something that is unofficially titled the Black National Anthem.
Come again?
The
Yeah.
Black National Anthem.
Hey, there's a bunch of Hispanic fucking players on the field too. What the fuck, dude?
Well, again, nobody gives a shit, right? It's all about
It's a long fucking song too.
it's called Lift Every Voice and Sing. We're gonna have to talk about this with Matt because then Matt has strong feelings about the flag, the national anthem. Like we're gonna have to talk about this with him. But it was written, let's see, in the lyrics were written in 1900 and the music was written in 1905.
Oh wow.
And
So it
It
was,
was-
written probably by slaves.
what was it was let's see, it was Lift Every Voice and Sing is what it's called. Written by James Johnson, set to music by his brother. Written from the context of African Americans as a hymn of thanksgiving and prayer, of faithfulness and freedom, and it's imagery that evokes the biblical exodus from slavery to freedom in the promised land, right? And it was communally sung within Black communities while the NAACP began to promote the hymn as the Negro National Anthem in 1917 with the term Black National Anthem similarly
Okay,
used
I
in
get
present
that.
day, right?
I get that because back then they didn't have rights. They were their own little group of people because of slavery and all that other shit. But now, I get it. And I don't think it's sung at every football game. I think it's only at the Super Bowl because the Super Bowl is always during Black History Month. And I think that's the reason why they do it.
Well, they've been doing it.
That tracks.
Yeah. I went to a pro football game. I went to a Rams game against what was it? It was during Military Appreciation Week. I went there with my brother-in-law. He took me, and there was only one national anthem being fucking played with a fucking like a big ass like 100-yard flag on the field with all the military guys and gals there, and there was only one national anthem played, and that was our national anthem, the U.S. national anthem, the one and only national anthem. Right. I get that them playing it because it's during Black History Month, and it's like it's history because it was written back then, and it was at a time that there was segregation, and one faction of people that the African Americans, they didn't have any rights. They were slaves. They were being held.
Well, not in 1900. But there's still Jim Crow laws applied,
right? There was still Jim Crow. There's segregation and all that stuff.
So I want to get into this with Matt because I know I'm really curious to know what he has to say about it. So we'll have to table this. But this is one of the reasons I want to bring it up because I'm going to tease this. No shit, not kidding you. It is not a national. It is not the national anthem, right? But it is a song that obviously the Black community holds near and dear to their hearts. If it's something that can be called the Black national anthem. And so guess what lit off a viral tweet storm controversy after Super Bowl was a female politician who had run for office in Arizona, where she would run for governor in Arizona, and the Super Bowl was held in Arizona. So she was at the Super Bowl, and somebody snatched a picture of her sitting during the Black national anthem. And people lost their shit.
I don't see a problem with that. If you have a bunch of NFL players that were kneeling or sitting because they didn't want to stand for the national anthem, okay.
Right.
Well, it's two-way street, man. Like if she doesn't want to stand, she doesn't want to stand. So right.
Well, this goes back to that double standard.
Well, hold on. Let's go before that. It's not recognized as.
Well, that's exactly
like, it. How are you going to be appalled that someone's not standing for this when it's not widely recognized as a song that you should. I would not know to stand for this song. I literally I'd be like, why are people?
So Matt, standing for this? I hope you're listening. I know you're listening. Be prepared, brother, because we're gonna jump into this. By the way, no joke. Did you guys see that somebody? I posted this on one of our social medias, but. You guys see that somebody, how they're asking AI to write things and come up with pictures and all this stuff now?
Yeah, some of it's kind of cool.
Okay. So somebody asked AI to write a poem explaining why a trans woman is actually a man in the style of Dr. Seuss. And I thought I would give you a dramatic reading of this brief poem here on the podcast before we get into Big Joke Energy. I see your hair. It is a wig. Your Adam's apple still looks big. You are a man, and that is clear. I do not see a woman here. I must admit it's rather odd to hear you say you're now abroad. You have no uterus, so no, you cannot bleed from down below. I do not like your padded bra. You should not use the women's spa. You tell me you had surgery. Your pronouns still are him and he. Your chromosomes are X and Y. That means you'll always be a guy. You gave yourself a girly name. That does not mean you're now a dame. A surgeon chopped your eggs and ham. I still won't call you ma'am. I am.
Ooh, AI is getting canceled for sure.
Fuck.
How do you cancel a computer for coming up with a poem like that? You know what I'm saying? That's hilarious. So anyway, I thought you guys would enjoy that.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So,
that's pretty fucking funny, actually. I can get behind that.
Pretty Dr. Seussish.
Very much. It's Valentine's Day.
Oh, Jesus.
And I said, my wife asked me if she said, honey, do I please you in bed? And I said, I love that trick you do with your mouth. And she said, what trick? And I said, the one where you shut the fuck up and go to sleep.
Oh, that's good.
What's the difference between my girlfriend and an umbrella?
What?
Only one of them ever gets wet.
Oh,
wow.
I remember that time my buddy ran out of the room with tears streaming down his face, yelling, it's a boy, it's a boy. And he was so crazy. But, we haven't been back to Thailand since.
Did you guys see the video? You guys see the video of they're introducing all the contestants from the Miss Universe?
No.
Somebody spliced in a ladyboy from Thailand. It's
Oh
like
my God.
Thailand. It's like I was like, oh,
that's
oh,
funny.
they're not wrong.
No. At what point does a joke become a dad joke?
Oh, I've told this one. Go ahead.
When it disappears and never returns home.
Yep.
Oh God.
You know what chocolate's pronouns are?
What's chocolate? What?
Hershey.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's correct. Yes,
What do you
you're
get?
correct.
What do you get if you cross a loaf of bread with a vagina?
Oh fuck it.
A yeast
Something
infection.
yeasty. Oh
Oh.
shit! I went for it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think my wife has the wrong idea about what doggy style sex is. Apparently, she
Okay.
thinks it's when I beg and she plays dead.
Oh, that sounds unfortunately like my sex life right now. Oh,
Good thing she doesn't listen.
thank God.
Go ahead, Chuck.
What do you call a paraplegic stuck in a tower?
What?
In trouble.
Okay. Oh, what starts with E, ends with E, and has only one letter in it? An envelope.
What?
An envelope.
Okay. Oh wow.
Oh my God.
Hook, line, and sinker.
I'm gonna start calling you know how people call their toilet the John?
Right.
I'm gonna start calling mine the Jim.
How come?
Then I could say I wake up and go right to the gym every morning.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
man. I mean, you're not wrong.
Or you pee in Jim's mouth.
Oh
Wow.
What's the difference between onions and my dead grandma?
What?
the
I
fuck?
cried when I cut the onions.
What?
Oh shit!
That's so fucked
Oh
up.
my God, that's dark.
Oh God. What's the tallest building in the entire world?
Uh,
I don't know.
A library.
that one.
It has so many stories.
Oh shit!
Oh my gosh. How do you know where COVID-19 is manufactured?
Oh,
It will have a sticker on the bottom saying made in China.
jeez.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Well,
No.
that's the one that cracked me up is when you see the COVID test and the bottom of the box it says made in China. And we're
Made in
like,
China.
we know.
Yeah, it was right.
You know what you get when you cross a lawyer and a crooked politician?
The White House.
Chelsea Clinton.
Oh,
How do you know if you've walked into a sex addicts counseling session?
or at Chuck's house.
The psychologist will thank you for coming.
Oh,
Oh. What's the difference between a politician and a snail?
what?
I don't know.
One is a slimy pest that leaves a trail everywhere, and the other one is a snail.
Oh my God. That's true. What do you get when you cross a duck with Kurt Cobain?
What?
Oh, what?
An overdose on quack.
Okay. Okay.
Wow.
Overdose on the quack.
On quack.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I got a closer here. An old cowboy walks into a barber shop for a shave and a haircut, and he tells the barber he can't get all his whiskers off because his cheeks are wrinkled from age. So the barber gets a little wooden ball from a cup on the shelf and tells the old cowboy to put it inside his cheek to spread out the skin. When he's finished, the old cowboy tells the barber that was the cleanest shave he's had in years, but wants to know what would have happened if he had accidentally swallowed the little ball. And the barber says, just bring it back in a couple of days like everyone else.
Oh shit.
Literally. All right, Matt, we'll see you next week. We'll talk about the national anthem and what other current event. Who knows? Maybe aliens will have landed by then. They'll come to find
it's possible.
Their son who was joyriding in the octagonal sports car over Lake Huron and be like, have you guys seen Billy? Our son came to Earth for a weekend.
All of a sudden, water posters everywhere.
Oh my God.
Missing posters.
I honestly, nothing could surprise me at this point. World War III, Wolverines, freaking kind of, dude. You could have a giant drill come up out of the center of this country and a bunch of mole men climbing out saying they've been watching us from the center of the earth, and I wouldn't be surprised at this point.
Well, there was a fucking pilot in World War II who said he flew into the center of the fucking earth through like the Bermuda Triangle or some crazy shit or some fucking weird forest, ended up flying into this cave and was fucking brought down by a group of fucking aliens, and they were talking to him. He wrote a book on it, and they were men at the center of the earth, like aliens in the center of the earth, and they were like controlling the earth. Like, it was fucking wild. I was reading it, I was like, this is crazy. This is fucking nuts.
That sounds wild.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep, nothing's gonna surprise me. So, Matt, be prepared. We're gonna get after it next week. I will finally have some free time. But we snuck one in this week, boys. So until next week, we will see you in the locker room. And again, I don't care what your pronouns are. So even next week, I still won't care what your pronouns are.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Freedom of speech.
Yeah. At least I know how to shut off the podcast, right?
I hope so.
I think so.
No, it was funny last time, Marco and neither Marco nor Matt were quite sure how to stop the recording.
No, we had no idea. We had no. That was us just like about to start hitting the computers. Yeah.
Yeah. So just for the record, this is how you end it.